Fear factor attached to the return visit of the Duchess of Sussex, otherwise known around the world as Meghan Markle, and it's not apparently the British public. So who is she absolutely terrified of? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Nice to see you today. Thank you also for your very kind comments about the wonderful Mario Lanza. I know, what a blast from the past. What a star though, when you think about it. I know he had his problems and his issues, and today, oh gosh, you know, they'd turn that into something, wouldn't they? He was simply fiery, talented, good looking, but above all, could do it. You know, when you think about it, you know, he got up on stage with no histrionics, just simply sang. A voice of an angel, and I was so lucky, as I say, to meet his daughter. Wonderful lady, great fun, and told me so many stories. As I often say, you know, one day we will get around to putting what we're allowed to put out on this channel. We don't necessarily own all the interviews because they are made for other TV companies, and for a certain period they own the product, but not for too much longer. Back as ever to your breaking roll story of the day. The story really centres upon the fact that Meghan Markle, as we know, is unsure about her return, naturally so, to the United Kingdom after quite a few years away now. It must be difficult on a serious note as well, because if you know you're not particularly welcome there, and if you know, for instance, you didn't have a happy time there, why simply would you want to return? You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? But of course, when your husband has been invited, and more or less, you know, nicely invited, by a lady who you could simply never turn down, our monarch, our reigning monarch of 70 years, Her Majesty the Queen, then, you know, sometimes you have to do as you're told. What's interesting though is, as I've been told by a very good source, it's not really about Meghan returning as such, because obviously she knows the feeling of the public. Whatever you say, people read these things, they watch news reports like this, and of course they know exactly the mood of the rest of the world. You know, they have to tell her exactly what to expect. But according to a very good source, and as ever, we have to say allegedly, it is in fact the staff within inside palace walls that Meghan is truly terrified of. And naturally you could, you know, understand why. If you recall, of course, she claimed, again, allegedly, that the staff took away her passport. Strange, we saw her going off on things. And of course, moving forward then, you know, she couldn't get the assistance she needed for her mental health, the suicide attempts, those sort of things. It really painted the royal staff, senior royal staff, in such a terrible light. Now I'm imagining that she possibly thought she wouldn't have to return again when she sat down opposite Oprah Winfrey. There's never a never, is there? There's always a possible return. And according to that good source, this truly is the problem for Meghan. Of course, you know, it will be said that those staff will be kept well away. And I can imagine those staff that still remain in employ, and there are quite a few still, will not wish to cross the path, or indeed the wrath of Meghan Markle once again, as one can imagine. But you can see where this could be leading, of course, because Meghan herself, we've been told, will be bringing her own staff, and we're not quite sure what that means by that. Perhaps the bodyguard ex of Michael Jackson, maybe he'll do the ironing and pressing, who knows. But on a more serious note, for Meghan herself, she truly is concerned about running into these people that she slandered so badly on camera. And when you think about it, to this day, she's never actually said who did it. Even if she's never actually cited those people, everyone will be looking at one another to see if they were the culprit that she was speaking about. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London. You see, the hay fever got me.